Good evening and welcome to your Lawrence County Fair. We are part of the American Farm Pullers Association. We are glad to be here to put on the pull for you tonight. Up first, our first class is that 8,000 pound 2.5 modified street diesel 4x4. Your first puller will be Tim Stallnaker out of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Puller 2, Lane Caldwell out of Middleport, Ohio. Bill Pickens out of Gallipolis and Greg May out of Spencer, West Virginia. How many Chevy fans do I have with me tonight? Okay, how about the Ford fans? And now for the blowout. Let's hear it for the Dodges. Tim Stallnaker, let's see it. Okay, that pull for Tim, 313 feet, 0.36 inches at 26.2 miles per hour. I need to ask, is he going to keep it? He's keeping it. Next up, we've got Lane Caldwell and his 01 Dodge out of Middleport, Ohio. Hey guys, I have Lane Caldwell on the sheet, not Bill. Hey, get Bill off the field there. We got Lane coming. Okay, we've had a switch on the list, and we've got Bill Pickens and his 76 Chevy out of Gallipolis. That pull for Bill Pickens, 317, 10.32 at 26.4 miles per hour. Up next, Greg May. So now Lane has decided he'll be next in his 01 Dodge out of Middleport. After our truck class comes the 5,500 pound tractors. Wayne Massey, Richard King, Bo Shad, Skylar Paxton, and John Tomlin. Pull for Lane, 276 feet, 1.92 inches at 20.8 miles per hour. Last puller up in this class will be Greg May out of Spencer, West Virginia. 5,500 modified stock farm tractors be across the scales. Lined up, Wayne Massey, Richard King, Bo Shad, Skylar Paxton, and John Tomlin. Greg May out of Spencer, West Virginia. Let's hear it, Dodge fans. Pull for Greg May, 304 feet, 0.96 inches at 24.8 miles per hour. That wraps up the 8,000 2.5 class. We are now moving on to the 5,500 tractor class. class. Coming in fourth, Lane Caldwell with a pull of 276 feet, not 1.92 inches. That's fourth place. Third place goes to Greg May, 304 feet, 0.96 inches. Second place goes to Tim Stallnaker, 313.036. And your winner of that class, Bill Pickens, 317, 10.32. Okay, once again for this 5500 modified farm stock tractor class, we have Wayne Massey out of Fraser's Bottom, West Virginia, Richard King out of St. Albans, West Virginia, Bo Shad out of Waterford, Ohio, Skylar Paxton out of Roseville, Ohio, and John Tomlin out of Fraser's Bottom, West Virginia. I thank the American Farm Pullers, Track Boss our sled. We've got the Sheriff's Department out here working for us, the medics, the Proctorville Police Department. Thank you for all your services. This is Wayne Massey on his 900 case he calls the Bear. Wait till you hear it run, folks. After Wayne, we'll have Richard King on his John Deere B, Bo Shad on his 88 Oliver, Skylar Paxton on an 88 Oliver, and John Tomlin on his Farmall. Up first, Wayne Massey on his 900 case. Here comes the Bear. That pull for Wayne Massey, 291 feet, 5.04 inches at a speed of 19.3 miles per hour. Is he going to keep it? He's keeping it. So we're looking for Richard King up next on his John Deere B, followed by Bo Shad, Skylar Paxton, and John Tomlin. Yeah, let's hear it for Mr. King. That pull was 201 feet, 11.76 inches. Good job, Mr. King. Up next, we're looking for Bo Shad. So we're going to have some audience participation here in a little bit. We're going to have 4 free rolled ice creams from Custom Creams located in the Payne building. They will be back with some colored footballs they're going to throw up into the stands, and whoever catches the football gets a free ice cream. Here they are. Everybody get ready. Okay, once you receive them, please follow them down and back over to the building for your free ice cream. Once again, thank you from Custom Creams located in the Payne building. Up to our sled next, we've got Bo Shad on an 88 Oliver out of Waterford, Ohio. That pull for Bo, 266 feet, 2.28 inches at 7 miles per hour. Up next, we're looking for Skylar Paxton on an 88 Oliver out of Roseville, Ohio. Last one in the class, John Tomlin on his Farmall out of Frazier's Bottom, West Virginia. Following that class will be our 62 Mod gas trucks. Cody Schwartz, you're up first. Jim Hawthorne, Kevin Radigan, Junior Ward, and David Bigley. Some thank yous tonight go out to our Lawrence County Fair Board, American Farm Pullers Association, Track Boss, which is the sled running tonight, Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the medics, and the Proctorville Police, and the Rome Fire Department. Skylar Paxton on his 88 Oliver out of Roseville, Ohio, up to the sled. That pull for Skylar, 286, 5.16 at 17.5 miles per hour. Our last puller in this class, John Tomlin on a 560 Farmall out of Frazier's Bottom, West Virginia. Up next, 6200 modified stock 4x4 gas trucks. Cody Schwartz, Jim Hawthorne, Kevin Radigan, Junior Ward, and David Bigley. After that, we're going to go 9500 Pro Farm turbo tractors, 3,000 RPM. John Tomlin. That pull for John, 266 feet, 8.16 inches at 19.7 miles per hour. 266 feet, 8.16 inches at 19.7 miles per hour. Tractor class coming in fifth, Richard King, 201.1176. Coming in fourth, Bo Shad, 266, 2.28. Coming in third, John Tomlin, 266, 8.16. Coming in second, Skylar Paxton, 286, 5.16. And your winner of that class, Wayne Massey, 291, 504. So we got Cody Schwartz in his 85 Chevy out of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Following him would be Jim Hawthorne in his Dodge out of Chester, Ohio. Kevin Radigan in his Chevy out of Junction City, Ohio. Junior Ward in his Chevy out of Leon, West Virginia. And David Bigley in his GMC out of Pomeroy, Ohio. Pull for Cody, 317 feet, 11.28 inches at a speed of 23.1 miles per hour. Is he going to keep that pull? He's keeping it. Up next, Jim Hawthorne in his Dodge out of Chester, Ohio, nicknamed Rambunctious. Show them the love. They got to hear it. Jim Hawthorne and his Dodge out of Chester, Ohio, named Rambunctious. Oops. That pull for Jim Hawthorne, 312 feet, 8.88 inches at 22.4 miles per hour. Up next, Kevin Radigan and his Chevy out of Junction City, Ohio. Followed by Junior Ward and David Bigley rounds out the class, and then we'll be moving on to the 9500 Turbo Tractor class. This is a 3,000 RPM class. Kevin's Chevy comes to us out of Junction City, Ohio. Following this class, we'll have the 9500 Pro Farm Turbo Tractors, 3,000 RPM. Troy Kucherenko, Kyle Collins, Jeff Cottrell, Paul Beal, and Jason Butler. That pull for Kevin, 307 feet, 2.16 inches at 21.4 miles per hour. Next up, Junior Ward and his Chevy out of Leon, West Virginia, followed by David Bigley and his 2001 GMC out of Pomeroy, Ohio. Followed by the 9500 Turbo Tractors, 3,000 RPM class, Troy Kucherenko, Kyle Collins, Jeff Cottrell, Paul Beal, and Jason Butler. Again, the Lawrence County Fair Board, American Farm Pullers Association, Track Boss, our sled, Rome Fire Department, Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the Medics, and the Proctorville Police Department. Stay tuned, folks, for this 9500 Turbo Tractor class. You'll see some speed and some dirt and some distances from these tractors. Junior Ward out of Leon, West Virginia. Thank that Lawrence County Fair Board once again. Coal Grove Police Department, Proctorville Police Department, the medics are here, the Sheriff's Department, Chesapeake Fire Department, Rome Fire Department, Track Boss, our sled for the evening, and the American Farm Pullers Association. Junior Ward. That pull for Mr. Ward, 312 feet, 6.48 inches at 22.3 miles per hour. We need a pull-off, please. Pull off at the end of the track. This is the last puller of this class. This is David Bigley in his 2001 GMC out of Pomeroy, Ohio. The 9500 Turbo Tractor class is as follows. Troy Kucherenko on his International 1066 from McConnellsville, Ohio. Kyle Collins on his 966 out of Coolville, Ohio. Jeff Cottrell will be on the Red Rage this evening out of Albany, Ohio. Paul Beal will be on the Executioner 3.0 out of Athens, Ohio. And Jason Butler will be on his Moline out of Crown City, Ohio. Once again, this is David Bigley. That's a bad break. Now, let that be an example to the audience. The torque that these guys have and as fast as they're running, that luckily stayed there on the track with his truck. That could have scattered anywhere. So when someone tells you to get off the track, that's exactly what they mean. That pull for David, 222 feet, 10.68 inches at 19.1 miles per hour. We will need a pull-off. Let's give him a hand, folks. He did put on a show for you. The 6200 Mod Gas trucks. 5th place goes to David Bigley. 4th place goes to Kevin Radigan. 3rd place goes to Junior Ward. 2nd place goes to Jim Hawthorne, and your winner of that class, Cody Schwartz. 9500 Turbo class. It is a 3,000 RPM class. There is a tack that we attach to the sled and we plug into the back of the tractors. We have one person on one end that plugs it in. We have another person down on the end that is reading the tack. They have 3,000 RPMs to do their work. Thanks to the Lawrence County Fair Board, the American Farm Pullers Association, Coal Grove Police Department, Proctorville Police Department, the medics, the Sheriff's Department, the Chesapeake Fire Department, the Rome Fire Department, and Track Boss, our sled for the evening. 9500 Turbo class, we will run the 6,000 modified stock farm tractors. Up first, Richard King, Bo Shad, Wayne Massey, and Skylar Paxton. The sled, you will see Troy Kucherenko on his International 1066 from McConnellsville, Ohio, followed by Kyle Collins on his 966 out of Coolville, Ohio. Jeff Cottrell will be driving the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio tonight. Paul Beal will be on the Executioner 3.0 out of Athens, Ohio. And Jason Butler will be on his Moline out of Crown City, Ohio. Get ready for the dirt to fly and the ground to pound. Remember, these tractors are here to put on a show for you. Let's cheer them on. Troy Kucherenko out of McConnellsville, Ohio. Ready for this? 342 feet, 5.16 inch at 29.9 miles per hour. I'd say that's a keeper. Up next, Kyle Collins on his International 966 from Coolville, Ohio. Kyle Collins on his 966 from Coolville, Ohio. Up next, Jeff Cottrell on the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio, followed by Paul Beal on the Executioner 3.0 from Athens, Ohio, and Jason Butler on his Moline from Crown City. That pull for Kyle, 282 feet, 3.72 inches at a speed of 24.5 miles per hour. Up next, Jeff Cottrell on the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio. Followed by Paul Beal on the Executioner 3.0 out of Athens. Rounding out the class will be Jason Butler on his Moline out of Crown City, Ohio. Special thanks goes out to the Lawrence County Fair Board, the American Farm Pullers Association, the Coal Grove Police Department, Proctorville Police Department, the medics are here, the Sheriff's Department, Chesapeake Fire Department, Rome Fire Department, and Track Boss, our sled for the evening. Jeff Cottrell on that 1066, the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio. After this class, we'll be running the 6,000-pound tractors modified farm stock again. Richard King, you'll be first, Bo Shad, Wayne Massey, and Skylar Paxton. Following that, we'll have the 8,000-pound hot 1-ton diesel 4x4 trucks, followed by the 6,200-pound cheater stock 4x4 gas trucks, the 10,500 Pro Farm Turbo class again, the 8,500 Pure Street Diesel. This is a 20-mile-per-hour class. And our last class of the evening will be the semis. Jeff Cottrell on the Red Rage from Albany. That pull for Jeff, 337 feet, 1.32 inches at 29.4 miles per hour. Up next, we've got Paul Bill on his IH 1066. He calls the Executioner 3.0. He comes to us from Athens, Ohio. Last in the class, but not least, we have Jason Butler on his Moline from Crown City, Ohio. All these guys will be back later in the 10.5 Turbo class. Our next class will be the 6,000 modified stock farm tractors. Richard King, Bo Shad, Wayne Massey, and Skylar Paxton. Then we'll move on to the 8,000 hot 1-ton diesel 4x4 trucks. Thanks to the American Farm Pullers, Lawrence County Fair Board, Track Boss Our Sled, Rome Fire Department, Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the medics are here, Proctorville Police Department, Coal Grove Police Department. Thank you for your services. You're now looking at Paul Beal on his 1066, the Executioner 3.0 from Athens, Ohio. That pull for Paul, 320 feet, 9.36 inches at 28.6 miles per hour. Up next, Jason Butler out of Crown City on his Moline. This is Jason Butler on his Moline from Crown City, Ohio. 6,000-pound tractors are up next. Richard King, you're first. Bo Shad, Wayne Massey, and Skylar Paxton. Followed by the 8,000-pound hot 1-ton 4x4 diesel trucks. Eli Martin, Greg May, Tim Stallnaker, James Van Nest, and Bill Pickens. This is Jason Butler on his Moline from Crown City, Ohio. that pull for Jason, 300 feet, 1.92 inches is at 26.8 miles per hour. That's the end of the 95 turbo class. We will be moving on to the 6,000-pound tractors. Okay, your winners of the 9,500 turbo class are as follows. In 5th place, Kyle Collins, 282 feet, 3.72 inches. 4th place goes to Jason Butler, 300 feet, 1.92 inches. 3rd place goes to Paul Beal, 320 feet, 9.36 inches. 2nd place goes to Jeff Cottrell, 337 feet, 1.32 inches. And the winner of that class, Troy Kucherenko, 342 feet, 5.16 inches. And Richard King on his John Deere B from St. Albans, West Virginia. Up next, Bo Shad on his Oliver 88 out of Waterford, Ohio. Wayne Massey on his 900 case from Fraser's Bottom. And Skylar Paxton on an Oliver 88 out of Roseville, Ohio. That pull for Mr. King, 204 feet, 0.48 inches at 2.2 miles per hour. Up next, Bo Shad out of Waterford, Ohio. Bo Shad out of Waterford, Ohio. Distance for Bo Shad, 282 feet, 4.68 inches at 11.4 miles per hour. Up next, Wayne Massey on his 900 case out of Fraser's Bottom. Our last puller will be Skylar Paxton on an Oliver 88 out of Roseville, Ohio. 8,000 hot 110 diesel trucks, be ready. Eli Martin, Greg May, Tim Stallnaker, James Van Nest, and Bill Pickens. Thanks again to the Lawrence County Fair Board, American Farm Pullers Association, Track Boss, our sled, the Rome Fire Department, the Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the medics are here, the Proctorville Police Department, Cole Grove Police Department. Thank you so much for your service. Here comes the bear. pull for Wayne Massey, 322 feet, 5.64 inches at 18 miles per hour. Our last puller of the class, Skylar Paxton on his Oliver 88 out of Roseville, Ohio. Skylar Paxton out of Roseville, Ohio. The pull for Skylar, 314 feet, 2.76 inches at 18.6 miles per hour. That rounds out the 6,000-pound tractors. Up next, 8,000 hot 1-ton 4x4 diesel trucks. The winners of that 6,000-pound tractor class are as follows. Fourth place goes to Richard King, 204, 0.48. Third place goes to Bo Shad, 282, 4.68. Second place goes to Skylar Paxton, 314, 2.76. And the winner of that class, Wayne Massey, 322 feet, 5.64 inches. Hot 1-ton class will have the 6,200 cheater stock 4x4 gas. Kay Miller, Kevin Radigan, Lannis Gilbert, Tim Howard, Mike Black, and Brooke Van Nest. You guys will notice I did mention 2 female names in that class. Kay Miller will pull first, and Brooke Van Nest will be last. But those boys better watch out. Eli Martin and his 07 Dodge out of Buffalo, West Virginia. That pull for Eli, 276 feet, 9.84 inches at 21.9 miles per hour. Is he going to keep the pull? He's keeping it. Up next, we need to see Greg May, 2000 Dodge from Spencer, West Virginia. Okay, as Greg sorts out his problems, moving on. Tim Stallnaker to the sled with his Chevy out of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Sled, Tim Stallnaker from Point Pleasant. That pull for Tim, 310 feet, 5.64 inches at 26.8 miles per hour. Up next, James Van Nest in his 96 Dodge out of Ravenswood. James Van Nest in his 96 Dodge out of Ravenswood, West Virginia. Quick thanks to the Lawrence County Fair Board, the American Farm Pullers Association, Track Boss, our sled for the evening, Rome Fire Department, Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the medics are here, Proctorville Police Department, and the Cold Grove Police Department. Thank you for your service. James Van Nest out of Ravenswood, West Virginia. Woohoo! Ready for these totals, folks? James went a blazing 3:26, 10.68 at 32.1 miles per hour. Up next to the sled, I need to see Bill Pickens. Then Greg May, you'll round out the class. Then we'll move on to the 6,200-pound cheater gas trucks. Kay Miller in her 2000 Dodge from Patriot, Ohio. Kevin Radigan in his 2000 Chevy from Junction City, Ohio. Lannis Gilbert in his 68 Ford from Oak Hill, Ohio. Tim Howard in a 67 Ford from Thurman, Ohio. Mike Black in his 76 Chevy from Gallipolis. And Brooke Finesse in her 98 Dodge from Ravenswood. We have a couple girls in this class, so I expect to hear it for the girls, ladies. Bill Pickens out of Gallipolis. That pull for Bill, 309 feet, 0.36 inches, 26.8 miles per hour. Last puller in this class, Greg May, 2000 Dodge out of Spencer, West Virginia. Our next class up, that's 6,200-pound cheater stock 4x4 gas. Up first, Kay Miller in her 2000 Dodge from Patriot, Ohio. Kevin Radigan in his 2000 Chevy from Junction City, Ohio. Lannis Gilbert in his 68 Ford from Oak Hill. Tim Howard in his 67 Ford from Thurman, Ohio. Mike Black with his 76 Chevy from Gallipolis. And Brooke Finesse in her 98 Dodge from Ravenswood. After the 6,200 cheater stock, we'll be looking for the 10.5 Pro Farm Turbo Tractors back, the 3,000 RPM class. Up first, Jeremy Henry, Kyle Collins, Eric Cottrell, Brad Jividen, and Troy Kucherenko. Greg May cannot get his truck started, so we will give you the results of that 8,000 hot 1-ton class. Winners of the 8,000 hot 1-ton class are as follows. Number 4, Eli Martin, 276, 9.84. Number 3, Bill Pickens, 309, 0.36. Number 2, Tim Stallnaker, 310, 5.64. And the winner of that class, James Finesse, 326, 10.68 at 32.1 miles per hour. Up next, 6,200-pound cheater class. To the sled, this is Kay Miller in her 2000 Dodge out of Patriot, Ohio. One of 2 girls we have in the class this evening. Green light for Kay. She gonna drop that, Dave? We need a pull off. Her distance, 191 feet, 11.04 inches at 11.5 miles per hour. Kevin Radigan in his 2000 Chevy from Junction City, Ohio, followed by Lannis Gilbert in a 68 Ford from Oak Hill, Ohio, followed by Tim Howard in a 67 Ford from Thurman, Ohio. Mike Black in a 76 Chevy out of Gallipolis, and Brooke Finesse in her 98 Dodge out of Ravenswood, West Virginia. Quick thanks goes out to the Lawrence County Fair Board. American Farm Pullers Association. Track boss, our sled for the evening, the Rome Fire Department, the Chesapeake Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the medics, Proctorville Police Department, and Coal Grove Police Department. Thank you for your service. Kevin Radigan, Junction City, Ohio. That pull for Kevin, 304 feet, 10.44 inches at 20.9 miles per hour. Up next, Lannis Gilbert and a 68 Ford from Oak Hill, Ohio. Lannis Gilbert and his 68 Ford from Oak Hill, Ohio. Never fear, he has another option. He did not go past the 75-foot mark. He does have one more try, so sometimes it's a gearing issue. He might have picked the wrong gear to start out in. Okay, that pull for Lannis is 263 feet, 2.64 inches at a speed of 13.5 miles per hour. Up next, Tim Howard in a 67 Ford from Thurman, Ohio. 67 Ford from Thurman, Ohio. We'll have Mike Black up next, and then Brooke Finesse will round out the class. Up next, your 10,500 turbo tractors, be ready. Jeremy Henry, you're up first. Kyle Collins, Eric Cottrell, Brad Jividan, and Troy Kucherenko. What do you think about that Ford, ladies and gentlemen? Let's hear it for him one more time, please. Tim Howard, that pull was 337 feet, 8.76 inches at 25.2 miles per hour. Guess what? He's your new leader. Black in his 76 Chevy out of Gallipolis. After Mike will be Brooke Finesse to round out that class, and then we will move on to the 10,500 turbo tractors. Jeremy Henry, you're up first. Kyle Collins, Eric Cottrell, Brad Jividan, and Troy Kucherenko. That pull for Mike Black, 285 feet, 3.36 inches at 18.2 miles per hour. Last but not least, the other girl of the class, Brooke Finesse in her 98 Dodge from Ravenswood, West Virginia. And if Brooke has a good night, you guys will see why she has all she wrote on the side of it. Okay, ladies, Brooke Finesse from Ravenswood. numbers to amaze you, Brooke went 342 feet, 5.64 inches at 26.2 miles per hour. Okay, the results for that class will be up in just a moment. We move on to our 10.5 turbo tractors. Up first, Jeremy Henry on his Moline out of Crown City. Followed by Kyle Collins on his 966 out of Colville. Eric Cottrell will once again drive the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio. Brad Jividen will be on the Executioner from MacArthur, Ohio. And Troy Kucherenko from McConnellsville will round out the class. Then we will move on to the 8,500-pound Pure Street Diesel class. This is a 20-mile-per-hour class. So the winners of the stock is number 5, Lannis Gilbert, 263, 2.64. Number 4, Mike Black with a pull of 285 feet, 3.36 inches. Number 3, Kevin Radigan with a pull of 304, 10.44. Number 2, Tim Howard with a pull of 337 feet, 8.76 inches. And the lady that spanked them all, Brooke Van Est, 342, 5.64. 20-mile-an-hour class, we are looking for first out of the gate, Alley Cat. Next up, Mike Burgess, Lane Caldwell, Stanley Bowman, Eli Martin, Jeff Welch, Lloyd Pancake, Ronald May, and Greg May is going to come back and put on an exhibition pull for us since his truck would not start in the other class. Up first, though, Jeremy Henry on his Moline out of Crown City, Ohio. Quick thank yous to our Lawrence County Fair Board, the AFPA, Track Boss, which is our sled tonight, the Rome Fire Department, the Chesapeake Fire Department, our Sheriff's Department, the medics are here, Proctorville Police Department, and Coal Grove Police Department. Thank you for your services. Get ready for the dirt to fly and the ground to shake. Here comes Jeremy Henry on his Moline out of Crown City, Ohio. Jeremy Henry, here we go. That pull for Jeremy, 295 feet, 6.12 inches at 27 miles per hour. And as you can see on the side of Kyle's tractor, Collins Family Farm from Colville, Ohio. Green light for Kyle Collins out of Colville. That pull for Kyle, 295 feet at 27 miles per hour. Up next, Eric Cottrell on the Red Rage from Albany, followed by Brad Jividen on the Executioner from MacArthur, Ohio. Rounding out the class will be Troy Kucherenko from McConnellsville. But never fear, we've only got one more class after this one, folks. Right now, backing in, Eric Cottrell on Red Rage from Albany. Eric Cottrell on the Red Rage from Albany, Ohio. Coming at you, Red Rage from Albany, Ohio. I do believe there was some rage in that one. 340 feet, 8.88 inches at 31.3 miles per hour. Get ready for Brad Jivitan. He's aboard the Executioner 3.0 out of MacArthur, Ohio. All previous classes, if you were announced as a winner, please come over and pick up your winnings as soon as possible. On board, Brad Jivitan 3.0 Executioner. Didn't go beyond the 75-foot mark. He will be pulled back probably to start again. Nope, no going. We need a pull-off. We need a pull-off. He recognizes this tractor. He's the guy that blew out the end the first go. So on his 1066 from McConnellsville, Ohio, we give you Troy Kucherenko. Troy Kucherenko. That pull for Troy, 321 feet, 8.28 inches at 29.6 miles per hour. So the winners of that 10,500 turbo tractor class are as follows. Kyle Collins in fourth place, 295 feet even. Third place goes to Jeremy Henry, 295, 6.12. Second place goes to Troy Kucherenko, 321 feet, 8.28 inches. First place, Eric Cottrell on the Red Rage, 340 feet, 8.8 inches at 31.3 miles per hour.